So this morning, I had no motivation to pray. And this morning, I had no motivation to read my Bible, to pray, to talk to God. And I had I just woke up this morning with no motivation, right? And eventually led me to the wrong choice. It led me to do something bad, and it led me to temptation. And eventually I fell into the temptation. Um, and I'm not going to discuss what it is, but my point is that there are times where I have woken up with just no motivation. And I know as believers, we've all been there. We've all been there where we have maybe just had a day where we had no motivation to just pray, read the Bible, spend time with God, be with other believers, Christian community, going to church, or anything really spiritually, anything spiritually. I know maybe we have had times where we have woken up and we have had just the motivation not to do anything. And my message to us is that whenever we feel like this, and I'm working on this too, trust me. I'm literally saying this video to myself. This message is really wrote to myself, but I want to encourage you on this video. When we feel like this, the first thing we need to do, because what it takes discipline. It takes discipline. And a lot of times in my walk with Christ, I have lacked discipline. I should say I really lacked discipline. There is just times where I just do not feel like doing anything spiritually. I'm going to be honest with you guys. There is times where I just want to do my own thing, want to do other thing, want to do this or do that or do that. But I have learned, and I'm still learning today, that it really takes discipline. It really takes discipline in this walk with Christ. Because there was a bunch of days where I just did not want to do nothing, guys. Where I just wanted to do nothing. Where I just wanted to, I just had no motivation, right? I just didn't have the strength. I didn't have the energy. And I know we've all been there. We've all been there at some point in our lives, in our walk with Christ, where maybe we have lost energy to pray. Maybe we have lost energy to read the Bible. Maybe we have lost energy, to be with other believers. Maybe we've lost the energy in anything spiritually. But each and every day, my message to us is that, and it's not going to be easy, but we have to force ourselves. We have to force ourselves. I know it is difficult sometimes, especially when we have no motivation. And especially with some of us who maybe struggle with laziness or struggle with complacency or struggle with anything or apathy or whatever. Especially laziness, for sure. My message to all of us, including myself, is that we need discipline, and we need to, we have to force ourselves even when we don't want to. And like I said, that it's not easy when you don't have no motivation, but a lot of times we have to force ourselves to pray. We have to force ourselves to engage in God's word. We have to force ourselves, we have to force ourselves to stay connected with God. We have to, and we just have to practice spiritual discipline, And it's not easy. It's not easy. And my life has never been easy, but because in my life, discipline is something I really lack. Discipline is something I really lack. And I think a lot of us do. A lot of us have. A lot of us, there are times where, like I said in this video, we just have no motivation. We have nothing. There are days where, yes, there's a day where we're on fire for the Lord, but then there's days where we just kind of drop down a little bit. And we need that fire to keep growing in us. We need that fire to keep burning in us. And so my message to us is that and I say this to myself, but when we have no motivation, first of all, I just want to let you know in conclusion that you're not alone. You are never alone when it comes to that. I have been through that so many times. I've been through so many times where I had no motivation at all. There were days where I maybe had a little motivation, and then there was days where I had no motivation. And my message to us is that when we feel like this, we must practice spiritual discipline. We must practice. And like I said, it's not easy, and sometimes it can be really tricky. But when we practice discipline, when we practice spiritual discipline, we can keep that fire burning in us. We'll keep the fire growing in us. And I want you to understand this one thing in this last part. God understands. God understands the struggles that we face. God understands that we're human. God understands that we're not perfect. God understands that we struggle. The struggles we face in our day-to-day lives. God understands that. But we should bring it to him. We should continue to stay connected with God. We should continue to stay connected with the Lord even when it is difficult. We need to stay, and trust me, I'm saying this for myself. This message is really for me. But we need to stay connected with Jesus Christ day by day. Even when we lack motivation, even when we lack discipline, we need to stay connected in God. He loves us so much, and he only wants what's best for our lives. Jesus only wants what's best for us, guys. Jesus knows what is best for us. And each and every day, we should continue to stay connected with him every single day with the understanding that it doesn't matter who you are or what you do.